I'll sing praises forever for the Red Shore. Like I obviously like they had their time and they definitely were at the forefront of Australian deathcore. Like they were the band. But I still think that was the band that they had so much more potential. I think they could have taken it so much more further. And obviously they had a lot of tragedy within that band. They had a lot of lineup changes. But they will forever be my like all-time favorite Australian band. I've got TRS tattooed on my ankle that I did on myself with like a shitty eBay machine when I was 15. Like I was listening to
dedicated.
Dude, they put out Unconsecrated, and I'd been listening to them since before Damo died. Rest in peace to that man.
Yeah.
I was listening to them before that, and they put out Unconsecrated, and I had it blaring in my room at 3 a.m. and I just like picked up my tattoo machine and just put TRS on my ankle. And I don't know if either of you have ever seen the Red Shore DVD where they play live. Yeah, I was at that show.
No way. That's sick. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that DVD is one of my most watched things I've ever seen. Like that was probably the final push for me to really go for it. I was just dipping my toes into more extreme music at the time. I was still very into, I guess, Parkway Drive and like I Killed the Prom Queen was a good segue for me into this sort of music. But as soon I saw the Red Shore live, I hadn't heard them before, and I went, "Oh, dude, like this is what I want." I went immediately up to merch and bought a shirt. So, like, and then that was kind of I never looked back after that. I probably like because I was like what I would have been like ages like 13 through to like 16 when I was on MySpace, when I was really like on MySpace.
Yeah.
And I think I was seeing it more on a local level. Like I was obviously really into like Suicide Silence and stuff like that, but bands like the Red Shore, that was like the biggest like success story of the Australian MySpace era for me personally. And it was more just being a teenager and being like, that's fucking cool. Like I could see that they were doing well. Like they were touring with like Bleeding Through and stuff in Australia. And I thought that was the craziest shit ever. And I guess the way that they did it back then is not really how it works these days. So I've never really been able to implement watching how they did it back then. And I think I was probably a bit too naive to really understand the scope of what success looked like in that era. I knew that if you had heaps of MySpace friends, you were popular. That was pretty much the extent of my knowledge towards it, just being a young, naive kid. But the MySpace era sort of, I'd say more so shaped my taste in music rather than like my mentality towards driving a band.